Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. Welcome to my show. My name's Jake. It's not Thursday, but I do have a new beer here for you. You can find me at TubaJake at TubaJake_69 on Untappd YouTube and Twitter, and also TubaJake_ on Instagram. Don't forget to tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you do too, because I'm going to tell you stories, and the more stories I have to tell, the more I can tell. I'm probably going to just keep telling the same stories over and over if you don't tell me different stories, but either which way, the one I've got for you today, I'm pretty sure is one that I've been told before. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, or any one of those three things, or all of those three things. I would appreciate that. It makes it so that people get to see this, hear this, watch this, and I like that. So the beer I've got for you today is an IPA from Germany. Perlenzauber Auerbauer. I don't know. She's pretty. I like how this looks. My brother-in-law sent this to me for Christmas. It should be pretty good. It's an IPA from Germany. What could go wrong, right? Anyway, let's get this thing started. So I think that my favorite part about this might be the lady in the porthole that's on the cover of this. Dark hair, light eyes, dark lips. A very nice body. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. This should get a lot of this in here, even with me pouring this so poorly. Not that, you know, I'm pouring it like it's pouring poorly, but like I did not do that well. I tell you a lot more about this, but the only things that I've got on the back of this are that it's got water, barley, malt, and hops in it, which means that it's beer. That's what I got. IPA, it says on the front. It's got a name on it and that pretty face. So that's what I got. So what's it supposed to be? It's supposed to be an IPA from Germany, made out of what it's supposed to be made out of. This is a beer. It's got hops and water and yeast and malt. I mean, what else can you put in there if it's actually going to be a beer? I mean, in Germany, you can't really. What you get is what you got. I saw something about grassy when I looked at it, just to see if I could look it up on Untappd, just to see if I could figure out what all I'm supposed to be expecting. Something about grassy, which just from what I licked off of my finger, that's a thing. It tastes that way, which is fine. It should taste like that. But I mean, it's an IPA. My guess is that it is a West Coast IPA, or in the style of the West Coast, which means it should also be fairly bitter, which is nice. I like those. It should also be fairly clear and amber. This is fairly amber, not super clear. So we'll see how this goes. It's not going to be a goes. Kind of smells like banana bread. Part of that could be my mustache. Not going to guarantee anything. It's not a New England style IPA, no matter how hazy it might be trying to be. It's not quite a West Coast IPA. It's not as bitter as you can possibly get it. This is just a straight up IPA. This is sessionable. Well, I mean, it's 7% or 6%. Sorry, it's only 6% ABV. This is straight up IPA. This is a pale ale. I don't know if it's not an imperial pale ale, although the 6% says it's closer to that. This is normal. I like this. It tastes like a beer with extra hops put into it, which is probably what they were going for. It tastes good. Is there a beer that this reminds me of? Like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Dale's Pale Ale. This one's a little bit less hoppy than the All Day IPA from Founders, but a little bit like that. I mean, it's a little bit less alcoholic too, because that's only 4-ish, I want to say. It's good. It's a pint of delicious, delicious beer. I'm not going to complain. It tastes real good. I mean, if I'm going to say that it tastes like a German beer, I would go more with a Marzen than just about anything else. It should be an ale, right? Because it says it's an ale. IPA, ale, right, is the last part in that. But a lot more like a Marzen, which means it's going to be a little bit more crackery, bready, if you will. And it is. It's that. It's good. I'd have another one of these. I don't have another one of these, but I would have another one of these. The story that this reminds me of. I used to spend a lot of time with my friend Dave Bailey. Dave Bailey was very funny. But like most people that are like that, where he's funny on the outside, he also had some dark spots in his past, in him. Had a tendency toward doing things that would hurt himself. He was not for it, but his wife definitely had her boyfriend at their wedding that I went to. Also went to a different wedding that it was for him, and that wife just loved him more than anything else. When they came to my brother's wedding, they had child, and we're planning on having another, which is great for Dave, because that's what Dave wanted. Everything Dave wanted right there. Just wanted to thank you for taking care of Dave. Anyway, this is not about Dave's dark things, really. This is about Dave in, high school-ish. Dave's parents were older. They had a house that was built for two different children. His older sister was significantly older than he was, like 10 years older than Dave was. She went to U of M. I'm probably married by now, but could not get married until a few years ago, if I remember Dave saying correctly. She was not into dudes, put it that way. Anyway, Dave had exchange students that lived at his house when he was in high school, which would have been super fun, because it'd be like having a sibling, but not like having a sibling. So one of these exchange students that Dave's parents had stay with Dave, they were from Germany. So, I mean, Dave graduates from high school. This person's probably 2 years older than Dave and has been drinking for presumably 2 more years than Dave has, at least. Takes him over, and, Dave gets blackout drunk for the first time while he's over in Germany with this person that he trusts, because obviously this person trusted his parents with this person's life, so Dave trusts himself with this person, or his life with this person, and their parents, whatever. It's at that guy's house. I think it was a guy. I don't remember for sure. Anyway, Dave got blackout drunk, so he wakes up in He does not remember going to bed. Remembers waking up, wrapped up in blankets and sheets up to his chin, and it's dark in the room, and it should not be dark in the room, because it should be the middle of the day at this point, because the last he remembered, the sun was coming up. But it's dark in the room, and he can see, he thinks, a light on the ceiling. The light is not lit, but can see it. Dave is looking around, all hungover, because, you know, it's the first hangover. And he's thinking, am I dead? Because it's this dark white room with a light in the ceiling and covered in blankets. He doesn't feel bad, but he's thinking he's dead. So he figures, well, maybe if I can move at all, I'm not dead. So he wiggles each of his fingers in turn, each of them. On the other side, wiggles each of his fingers in turn. Wiggles his toes as much as he can in turn. Bends his knees, and the pain shoots up his head. I mean, he's got a hangover, right? Could happen. I don't think that part actually happened. But after he got done wiggling all of his fingers, trying out his shoulders, his elbows, his wrists, Dave decides, it's okay. I'm alive. What am I going to do with this gigantic headache? So he got up and had a German breakfast. So, you know, there's potatoes and sausages and eggs, and didn't have a hangover after that. But also went out and did the same thing the next night. Knew what he was getting into at that point. But, I mean, at 18, doesn't that sound like an amazing time? Just not knowing what you're getting into, thinking you've woken up dead. Whew. What a time to be alive. That would have been 20 plus years ago. Yeah, like probably 23-ish years ago. Almost 24. Probably 23 for real. Dave graduated in 2000, so like right now would be when he probably would have been there. So like 23-ish years ago. Man. And at that point in time, I was on a trip with, no, it was still another month before I would have been on a trip with the Lions Band. I mean, this would have been before that, though, because graduation and whatnot. Also, at that point in time, I doubt they had beer like this there. IPAs, probably not that far ahead, because it's really more of an American thing. For real, let's be real here. Okay, good, still going. All right, anyway, I have a quote for you. This one is from Marvin Gaye, the singer, songwriter, man of peace. He said, "If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else." If there's something that's bugging you, figure out how you can make it better for you. I think is what he's trying to say. Make it better for you, so that you can live with it. Because if you can't make peace with it, you won't. Anyway, don't forget, you can find me on Untapped, YouTube, and Twitter, all at TubaJake_69, and on Instagram at TubaJake_. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you do too, because I'm going to tell you stories. I like telling people stories. I like telling my stories, especially if you told them to me and I can tell them as, this is what my friend said, because I can make it a little bit different. That one was pretty close to how it was told to me. There's definitely one that I'm not going to tell, but that's somebody else's story to tell. Usually Dave's, but it's not about Dave. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because I like it when you do that. Please keep doing that, because I like that. Please. And I'll see you next time when you got time for a beer.